Okay, hello. Good afternoon. Hello. So my name is Nikhil, and today's session, Dimpy and Ayush, just wait for a moment. We'll give you some time to ask any query and any life issue situation. No problem. Just give me a few moments. So today we'll be having a short orientation regarding your preparation journey. How many of you are going to appear for the first time in 2024? Okay, half of you. Online also, I cannot take a poll here, but I guess at least half of them. Some of you may be appearing 2025, some of may have appeared already in the past. But I will presume everybody is starting afresh. Okay. Now, let us discuss about this journey for a moment, about what we want to achieve. Then, in the second part, we shall discuss about what is expected out of you. How should you look at this entire preparation and its requirement. And then in the third part, we'll discuss about the program and how it will proceed for next few months. Okay. Everybody understands Hindi, or should I stick only and only to English? Anybody who doesn't understand Hindi, please let me know here. I have one basic question that I myself struggled a lot with, even before I started preparation and even afterwards. The simple question is why? It is a very sensible question. It seems very petty question rather. इसमें क्या पूछने की बात है? तैयारी करनी है, IAS बनना है या IPS IFS बनना है. The question is, this question is extremely important because this question का आंसर जो आपके मन में है at this point of time when you embark upon the journey to prepare for civil service, that answer will not remain static by the time you appear for interview or by the time you become an IAS or IPS or IFS. It will evolve over time. And you have to grapple with that question because आपका understanding of service, understanding of society, and understanding of yourself, all these three things will change in next 2 years. You will start knowing yourself better कि मैं कहाँ पे अच्छा हूँ, कहाँ गड़बड़ करता हूँ, क्या skills है, negatives, attitudinal problems, सब कुछ. You will understand society further better, and you will understand service also probably little better. Now to discuss about service for a moment, and even before that, why at this point of time you think you want to prepare for this service. आप इस शगुन मैम बताइए. It could be anything. It could be very Swanta Sukha या Kalidasa या type. It's my material interest. I want to become rich. I want to become powerful. I want to have status and prestige. That is also a fine answer. But you have to be very honest with yourself, if not in public. In public, आप क्या जवाब देंगे? Power. वो तो कोई भी जॉब से आ जाता है. Okay. So your focus is on IAS as a service and collectorship as a part of the service. You know, assuming that you get selected by 25-30, you have a reasonably long 30-35 years career. In that 35 years career, how long for power and for diplomacy? Life experiences. That's a good answer, Divya. For in the duration of those 30-35 years, how long do you get to become a collector? After 10 years or 9 to 10 years of collectorship. It depends, correct. So sometimes you can become collector in 6-7 years also, depending on cadre, but I am not talking about that. When you become collector, my point is for what duration you become collector. Either one collectorship or two collectorships in two districts. Very rarely you get the third district, very rarely. If you get, right, it's very, very rare in any cadre. So in your 35 years of career, only 10% of your time is going to be spent as a collector. Only 10%. Although that is the most ostentatious display of your existence in society, that is the most attractive point for anybody ki I can throw away my power, I can do a lot of things. I'm in public gaze all the time, and that is a good job. Lots of senior officers, when they are at the fag end of their career, reminisce with मेरे collectorship के दिन कैसे थे. That is always a soft point because that is where they think they did a lot of good things. That is true, but ultimately it is just 10%. 10%. So why I am asking this is that you should know better the service life also. मुझे SP बनना है and collector बनना है, ये for some people it is actually good. It was not earlier like this. By the way, in British era, very senior officers after 20-25 years of service were given districts to run. And they used to go to Rajdhani first, the headquarter of the province first, serve there for long years. When they have acquired enough kind of experience and when they have created enough connections, then they used to come back to district and run the district. But आज के दिन में वैसा नहीं, कलेक्टरशिप के बाद आपका मेन करियर शुरू होता. But anyway, yes, for you, any motivation? Yes. To be happy. This is the perfect person. I am not joking. See, I have a friend who wanted to become IFS. He joined another service, RPF, and he is very happy. Although the service is not what he wanted. I have a female friend. She wanted to become IFS. Now she's in some country, Myanmar, and she is not happy. So happiness has nothing to do with your service. If you are happy, you will be happy wherever you want. Even if you clear or don't clear, there will be temporary ups and downs, but that is the ultimate objective. You want to be happy. Service is something else. Service is not the instrument. Externality will not take you to happiness. Okay. Okay, I'm becoming too much philosophical now. For the day-to-day experiences and to serve people of the country, no other job will give us that experience, Aman. It is true. It is true. This question is generally asked at the beginning of most of the interviews in Dholpur House when you get to that level. I gave interview twice. Both the places I was asked same question in both the panels कि भाई आप यहाँ पे क्यों आए? You prepare an answer, but once you go there, you give some other answer altogether जो आपके अंदर होता है. Anyway, why I am again focusing on this is just keep that question at the back of your mind throughout the journey of next 2 years, and that will give you power to sustain through day-to-day life of preparation. That is the first point I wanted to make. Second point is, do you know the background of this service of IAS? कुछ जानते हैं उसके बारे में? like collectorship की अगर बात करें, if you take collectorship, who started the post of collectorship? You know how old it is. Revenue collection is as old as state formation, because the very existence of state depends on collecting revenue, and to collect revenue it has to have bureaucracy which is professional. So revenue collection is a very old thing since the Vedic, post-Vedic era. But the present status of a district collector who collects the revenue from district is started in 1772 by Warren Hastings. अभी चल रहा है 2024. It's been 252 years. Continuous tradition, unbroken chain of events since 252 years. You will be in the next batch afterwards, so 253rd batch maybe, if you go back to pre-independence era and count from there. But the way you look at service today was not like this always. It evolved through its own phases. This service was considered to be a heaven-born service. And the person who joined the service of ICS, it was called ICS before IAS, ICS, he was called heaven-born civil servant. Why? Because of the perks. At that, let us say in 1810, 1820, etc., it was the highest paid job in the world, if you go by any country at that time. Not even that, 1% of the collection you would make from the revenue would be given to you, incentive ke liye, because it's a company that is running the government at that time. In 1833, for the first time, technically, it was opened for Indians. तब तक Indian बन नहीं सकते थे civil servant. It is Lord Bentinck who said कि भाई we will not discriminate based on race and caste and religion, etc. So Indians will be technically allowed. लेकिन Indians बनते ही नहीं थे. Not a single Indian became SCS in his lifetime. The reason being a kind of obstacles that were created in the exam process. जैसे आज के दिन में देखते हैं CSAT clear नहीं होती. Right? We have the history of such obstacles in the British era. For example, the examination center used to be in London only. So if you want to appear, London जाओ exam देने के लिए. आपको दिल्ली में center नहीं मिलेगा. Not till 1852-53, center came to India. That is one. Secondly, look at the syllabus. Syllabus at that time used to have Greek language, Latin history, English literature. अब ये कहाँ पढ़ोगे इंडिया में? इंडिया में कोई पढ़ाते नहीं थे यूनिवर्सिटी में. So you have to go to London much before you wanted to appear for exam. 15 साल का बच्चा जाएगा लंदन में. जाने के लिए कैसे? There is no Suez Canal. You have to go by circumnavigating entire African continent. It used to take months and then stay there in a foreign country for years to learn and become ICS. But even that is difficult. Why? Because of age limit. It was 19 years old. 19 साल के अंदर आपका एज लिमिट खत्म. उसके पहले आपको लंदन जाना है, पढ़ना है, अपीयर होना है, क्रैक करना है कंपटीशन में. So it was one of the demands of the freedom fighters in the beginning, before and during the Congress formation, was this only. We should have Indianization of civil service, and for that we should hold exams in India and age limit should be proper. तो आज के दिन में जो डिमांड्स चलती है, एग्जाम का पैटर्न चेंज करो, एज लिमिट चेंज करो, सब्जेक्ट हटाओ, ये तो कांग्रेस उसी के लिए बनी थी है. एनीवे, सो दैट इज वन पॉइंट, दैट इट्स एज अ हिस्ट्री. But the exam, the nature of exam today is vastly different. Before 1850s, there was not even exam. Exam होती नहीं थी. Company directors used to have the opportunity called patronage power. मेरे भाई को लगा दो, मेरे भतीजे को लगा दो. That was the nature of the post, because they created this thing to loot India. It is much afterwards that they started to copy the Chinese bureaucratic recruitment system. In China, for last 1500 years, they have a centralized recruitment exam. Nowhere in the world it was. So when this kind of civil service exam started, it was an imitation of a Chinese model by British in colonial India. China has a continuous history of 1500 साल. इंडिया में नहीं थी ना ब्रिटेन में थी. Once it was successful in India, then they copied in their own country, Britain. पहले यहाँ पे experiment कर लिया. Nonetheless, the point is that just imagine the era of that time of 19th century when you have ICS, IPS officers who are actually called servants, but they are the rulers. And why? Because there is no politician. आज के दिन में आपके जहन में जो है कि you become a district collector, but you also have to juggle power with some MPs, some MLAs, some elected people. They do not exist at that time. Bureaucrats used to run India. It is the Congress people and other politicians who struggled to reach some kind of concessions to get those powers positions gradually. And when there was a movement like NCM, non-cooperation movement, we have Gandhian movements, etc. तो जब अंग्रेज सरकार धावा बोलती थी, they used to arrest Indians. कौन करता था arrest and harassment? ICS, IPS. The history of ICS, IPS pre-1947 is a history of opposing international movement also. There were hardly any Indians there before that. Who is the first Indian to become ICS? Anybody knows his name? Satyanath Tagore. Okay, Satyanath Tagore. S.N. Banerjee became little later. He was disqualified also. He was disqualified also because of some problem, and there was some case, Shaligram case, etc. But we have a few people. For example, the first one is Tagore, S. Tagore. We have even at that time one indicative person called Aurobindo. Aurobindo could have become topper. He purposefully flunked the last stage of exam, that is horse riding. Horse riding was compulsory to clear the exam. वो फेल हो गए purposefully, ताकि मुझे ICS नहीं बनना. अगर बनूंगा तो पिताजी बोलेंगे अब जाके कलेक्टर बन जा, नहीं बनना है. He came back to Baroda to become civil servant. We have even R.C. Dutt, who wrote Economic History of India, again ICS officer. We have one of the first All India rank 1 at that time, that is C.D. Deshmukh, who became RBI governor after independence, again ICS officer. We also have Subhash Chandra Bose, who got All India rank 4 and then did not join the service, resigned very immediately after that. His was perhaps one of the last batches. The exam was held in London. It was, I guess, in 1920 or 21. In 1922, it was a center started in Allahabad also, apart from London. Coming to the training. Training today happens in the coveted Lavasana in Mussoorie. You also get some kind of motivation with Lavasana videos, Lavasana photos. आपके दोस्त सीनियर होंगे, कुछ YouTube पे होंगे. आओ धर्मते धीर, आओ कर्मते वीर. आप Lavasana anthem भी सुनते होंगे, right? But Lavasana is a very new place. It started in 1950s. G.B. Pant was the home minister. he said, let us shift it to Lavasna in Mussoorie, and it was named Lavasna in 1970s. Before that, it used to be in Delhi only. In Delhi, we have a Metcalf House. So Metcalf House में training पहले होता था 1940s 50s में. And it is in Metcalf House only we have a very famous speech given to us by Sardar Patel. 21st of April 1947-48. In that, he gave a speech to civil servants कि भाई अब तक की हिस्ट्री एक तरफ, you have been oppressors of India, you have been harassing all the Indian politicians, you have been suppressing Indian population, you have been looting India. Now that history is over, now you have to serve India as a nation. That transition happened in that single day, at least at emotional level. And that is why we consider Sardar Patel as the founder of Indian civil services. There was a clamor by everybody else in all the political parties कि इसको abolish कर दो, नहीं चाहिए. This ICS IPS is instrument of British government to control India. Independence मिला है, independence किन से मिला? इनसे तो मिला ICS IPS से. इनको पहले खत्म करो, abolish करो. That was the whole idea of entire political movement, because they did not like ICS IPS. It is Sardar Patel who stood on the other side. नहीं, you cannot run India without their help. We need to have that steel frame. The phrase steel frame of India comes from that speech of Sardar Patel. So he is called as the father of civil service. The 21st April is Civil Service Day, and that speech was given in Metcalf House over here. And afterwards, we have next Home Minister who shifted the training center from Metcalf House to Mussoorie, where you want to go and join. तो चलो, तो इतिहास की बातें चलती रहेगी, because I'm a history teacher, I will keep talking about history all the time. Coming back to what is expected out of you, or what to do. For that, we have to understand the nature of the exam first. This exam, I will make two statements which are contradictory, and both of them are true at the very same time. This exam is easiest of the exams, and this exam is toughest of the exams. Easiest or toughest both at the, and as a civil servant, it is your skill to justify both the sides. You know, एक civil service में कहानी होती है, क्योंकि you are get transfer from ministry to ministry, कभी इस ministry में हो, कभी इस ministry में हो. तो let us say you are in the defense ministry and you want to purchase something, so you write an application to finance ministry कि मुझे इसकी order चाहिए, पैसे sanction कर दो, मुझे खरीदने को 4 रफाल. तो ministry would from there say नहीं नहीं ऐसे कैसे होगा, justify करो, it is public money, you have to justify expenditure. So as a defense secretary, you would justify कि ये कैसे सही expenditure है. Let us say you justify that on the file noting and forward the file to finance ministry. जब तक file पहुंचती है, you are transferred to the finance ministry and you receive the file from the other end. तो आप उसी फाइल में नोटिंग लिखोगे कि भाई गलत खर्चा ही नहीं करना चाहिए, फजूल खर्चा है. The statement is the very famous statement that in civil service, where you stand depends upon where you sit. आप कौन से कुर्सी पे बैठे हो, that will decide आपका stance क्या है. Where you stand depends on where you sit. So now I am asking you this thing: the exam is easiest and toughest both. You have to justify both sides, and that is the skill you have to acquire. Why it is easiest? It is easy because there is nothing difficult to understand in the content. Look at all the subjects: history, geography, polity, economy, even CSAT. If you take standalone question, if you give enough time, it is easily solvable. In itself, it's solvable. There is no very high fundamental concept of rocket science not involved. Most of the things are either commonsensical, or if anybody tells you, you can grasp them easily. You can do it by yourself also. Very honestly, toughness of the concepts is not there. However, it is toughest because of other things and not because the syllabus कितना मुश्किल है. Syllabus मुश्किल नहीं है. Why it is toughest? ओहो, ये क्या लगा दिया ना? First reason is look at the competition. Everybody knows there are 3 exam stages: prelims, main and interview exam. In prelims, almost 10 lakh people file the form, of which 50% people appear. 5 lakh लोग exam prepare होंगे. In the main exam, you have 13,000, 12,000 लोग appearing, almost 12 to 13 times of the vacancies. And out of those 12-13,000, almost 2.5 to 3 times of vacancies will appear for interview, 2 या 3,000. of which 1000 will be selected. Of those 1000, 100 IAS बनेंगे मैक्सिमम, IAS IPS जोड़ के जितने बनेंगे. तो the success ratio is very stark. That makes it tough, not the difficulty of exam. Secondly, you will be competing against one of the brightest brains in India. Your competitors are those who have given exam in the past. Your competitors are those who have been exceptionally brilliant in their academic record. Your competitors are those जिनके घर में 3-3 पुश्ते लोग IPS IAS है या ब्रिगेडियर जनरल्स है. Your competitors are those जो कि सेंट स्टीफन से आए हैं, डून स्कूल से आए हैं. Your competitors are those जो already they are in service, they are appearing again for rank improvement. अब compete करना. So it is the other thing that makes it difficult and not the exam content. क्लास में आप चीजें समझ लोगे आसानी से. The better you understand the nature of exam, your preparation will be focused likewise. For example, look at the syllabus, which is vast. And I want to give a situational idea. Imagine that you become an IPS. You join the service, after some years you become a district collector. And as a SP. And as an SP, you work hard for entire day in some remote district जहाँ पे resources adequate नहीं है. And then you go late at night to sleep, to bed at 2 o'clock. At 3 o'clock you get a call कि साहब जी उठिए, क्या हुआ? बोले इमरजेंसी कॉल आया है, बगल वाले ब्लॉक में राइट्स शुरू हो गए रात, कुछ करो. Now riot situation is a difficult situation. You have to respond. It's your district, your responsibility. But to respond to the problem, first of all, you need to have the idea कि problem का size क्या है, scale क्या है, situation क्या है. You don't have the data. You just know in neighboring block some burning and some rioting, some mob problem going on. Respond करो. You don't know कितने लोग हैं, कौन से गांव है, कितना spread है, which communities. You don't know the cause. You don't know what weapons they carry. You don't know the root cause also जिसकी वजह से प्रॉब्लम शुरू हुआ है. You have no idea. You have to respond immediately. ऊपर से फोन आ रहा है MP MLA की भाई हमारे यहाँ पे दंगल नहीं होनी चाहिए. ऊपर से मीडिया को खबर लगे तो और दिक्कत. Then you have to ensure one thing. It's a life of persons that is involved. You have to take care of that. It's your task. कोई मरे ना. Now how to respond? You have to have force. Force दिन भर काम करके थकी होगी. There are no resources. Not enough adequately trained staff. अब जाके respond करो. And you have to do that. Lack of information, lack of time, no complete control of situation, not a huge amount of pressure, and not responding is not an option. That is going to be your job. I just give one simulation, some idea. UPSC preparation is a simulation of that process. The syllabus is going to be vast, not difficult, but vast. You will never be in the control of entire things. If you want to become perfectionist, if you want to have comprehensive notes, तो आप notes बनाते रह जाओगे. And there will never come a point where you feel now I am adequately prepared this year. इस साल मैं प्री दूंगा. Every year before prelims or before main or before एक interview will feel कि अरे यार थोड़े महीने और मिलते, 2 हफ्ते और मिलते. And that is the nature of exam. So the exam is not only about content, it is about your mindset. If you are able to tackle this situation of managing the syllabus, managing the process, then you are able to become a good civil servant who will serve well and also succeed. So when you define the problem कि मुझे IAS IPS बनना है, define the problem not in the sense कि मुझे history अच्छी आनी चाहिए, geography अच्छी आनी चाहिए, वो तो ठीक है, वो होना ही है. But the problem statement should be modified to the level where you think, how do I manage the process? The process management is an equally important aspect. Are you able to get me? And that is what is intention of the exam process. Additionally, this exam is going to be at least 2 years journey for all of you. Now, 2 years journey is a huge thing. There will be lots of ups and downs. Lots of ups and downs. So, आपको self management is also going to be a very important aspect. So, syllabus management and self-management. Beyond the content level. So let me discuss this aspect. Strategy plays a huge role here. यहाँ पे आप क्या करोगे? First thing is you have to have right sources. In the market you will find n numbers of books. हर कोई दोस्त, हर कोई टॉपर, हर कोई यूट्यूब वीडियो will suggest ये पढ़ो, वो पढ़ो, ये पढ़ो, and you will run behind those things. Wait, limited time है. You have to go for multiple revisions. You have to stick to some basic sources. It's about the process, not about the content alone. Look at the toppers numbers. कितने नंबर पर टॉप IAS बनता है आदमी? 45%, 48%, maximum 50-51%. So even the rank one has never gone beyond 51%, 52%. तो आपको क्यों जाना है? आपको 50. If you are able to do average in every subject, in every question, at every stage, you are ranked number 1 in India. बस एवरेज करके दिखाना. तो आपको क्या एवरेज मैनेज करना आता है, not perfectionism. So that is the exam. Now, therefore, stick to the basic sources. Have some faith in your teachers. It is good to be critical. It is good to ask why, but ask that why sometime later, after a few months of process, not from day one. जैसे I give a lot of examples from classical music. उसमें ये होता है कि you have to clear fundamental first. तो पहले सा लगाओ. आदमी साल 2 साल 4 साल सा ही लगा रहा है, उसको यमन भी नहीं सिखाया. तो एक कहावत है, एक सुर साधे सब सुर साधे. तो आपका एक बार सा लग गया, एक फंडामेंटल फाउंडेशन क्रिएट हो गया, तो बिल्डिंग बनने में समय नहीं लगता. बट टू मेक द फाउंडेशन इट टेक्स टाइम, एंड फॉर दैट यू हैव टू नॉट क्वेश्चन द प्रोसेस इन द वेरी बिगिनिंग. यू शुड क्वेश्चन द प्रोसेस व्हेन एटलीस्ट इट हैज क्रॉस सम पाथ. 3 महीने 6 महीने हो जाए, देन यू स्टार्ट बिकमिंग क्रिटिकल कि यही क्यों नहीं पढ़ना है, ये क्यों पढ़ना है. तब तक यू गेन द स्ट्रेंथ टू क्वेश्चन. दैट इज वन थिंग. एंड लिमिट द रिसोर्सेस. एवरी टीचर from his or her own course will tell you कहाँ से क्या कितना पढ़ना है. Class notes will also be very comprehensive, but limit the sources. That is one primary thing. The second thing, generally you will come to know, everybody talks about, is PYQ analysis. Most important thing, everybody knows, nobody does. They are laughing. See, am I true? Am I correct? So, in your optional as well as in general studies, PYQs are extremely important. In optional, generally 50 to 60 to 70% questions are repetition every single year in some form or the other of PYQs of last 20-30 years. करनी है. In GS also, PYQs are extremely important. See, PYQ होता क्या है? Syllabus will give you a good idea कि GS1 में क्या है, हिस्ट्री है, सोसाइटी, ज्योग्राफी. GS2 में क्या है, पॉलिटी है, IR है, गवर्नेंस है. GS3 में क्या है? So you know syllabus. Syllabus is there. Will do that thoroughly, step by step. But syllabus gives you a horizontal view of what UPSC expects out of you. The previous year questions gives you vertical view. कितने डेप्थ में जाना है, क्यों जाना है, कौन से पॉइंट में. Syllabus and PYQs collectively make the key to the UPSC's mindset. मेरा एक प्रोफेसर था, जॉन स्टार्की. So Professor Starkey used to tell me, मैं उनके कोर्स में I used to be a TA, टीचिंग असिस्टेंट. एंड स्टूडेंट थे क्लास में, 100 से स्टूडेंट थे. मशीन डिजाइन कोर्स था वो, 3rd ईयर का, 4th ईयर का. तो ही यूज्ड टू टेल मी, निखिल, ऑफिस आवर्स में, कि मैं जो एग्जाम पेपर सेट करूंगा उसका पर्पस क्या है. पर्पस ये है कि स्टूडेंट शुड लर्न नॉट टू स्कोर हाई. वो तो अलग बात है, हाई स्कोर करे या ना करे. स्टूडेंट शुड लर्न हाउ टू थिंक द वे आई थिंक. The moment student understands how I as a teacher is thinking about something, उसको हाईएस्ट नंबर आने ही आने पेपर में. सो एग्जाम का मतलब है एग्जामिनर के माइंडसेट को समझना, एंड दैट यू कैन अंडरस्टैंड ओनली थ्रू थरो एनालिसिस ऑफ PYQs. PYQ इज योर गीता, बाइबल, कुरान, वॉट एवर यू वांट टू डू. आपको हर दिन आपके बेड के, आपके गद्दी के नीचे रख के सोना है, दिमाग में कुछ जाएगा थोड़ा थोड़ा वो. ठीक है, आई एम नॉट जोकिंग. यू थिंक इट इज वेरी इजी, इट इज नॉट दैट इजी. यू कीप लुकिंग एट इट अगेन एंड अगेन. आपकी नजर बदलती है, जैसे आपका अंडरस्टैंडिंग इवॉल्व होता है, यू विल डिराइव मोर इन्फॉर्मेशन आउट ऑफ दिस PYQs. सो इट इज एक्सट्रीमली इंपॉर्टेंट. PYQ एनालिसिस, ट्रेंड एनालिसिस भी होता है उसमें. सम पीपल एक्सपेक्ट एंड प्रेडिक्ट कि दिस क्वेश्चंस हैव बीन आस्क्ड इन द पास्ट फ्रॉम दिस टॉपिक्स, इस साल शायद ये आए. समटाइम्स दे आर करेक्ट, समटाइम्स दे आर नॉट करेक्ट. सो आई एम नॉट गोइंग अबाउट ट्रेंड एनालिसिस, उसकी बात नहीं कर रहा हूँ. आई एम ट्राइंग टू टेल यू कि UPSC हैज अ मेथड It is not completely random exam. Unlike many other state PCS, it is not random. It is not, especially mains is not random at all. तो जैसे आप UI को अधिक से अधिक देखते जाओगे, you will understand कि method क्या है, along with the teachers also. That is the second point. Third point is study skills. Now these aspects, I am talking about everything else but the syllabus right now. वो समझ लो, क्योंकि वो तो हम हर दिन करना ही है. Study skills. This part we take for granted. It should not be taken for granted. अब तक, till the time you cleared your university exam, you never required them. Maybe sometimes in the board exam आपने कुछ किया होगा. How to make time schedule, how to be mentally disciplined, how to sit in the correct posture correctly, how to increase the handwriting in a beautiful manner, how to aid memory techniques, how to revise things, how to take synoptic notes, या फिर even how to read a book. I have a book whose name is How to Read a Book. It has got 4 methods. तो किताब पढ़ने के भी अलग अलग तरीके होते हैं, पर्पस के अनुसार एंड किताब के अनुसार. तो all these study skills, even how to create a schedule, one of the most recurrent questions that we get from students again and again कि सर पढ़ाई नहीं हो रही, शेड्यूल नहीं बन रहा. अब जैसे कि आप देखो, you make a timetable. That timetable should not be first of all very ambitious. Normal timetable कि दिन के 8 घंटे पढ़ाई करूंगा. 8 hours is more than enough. टॉपर्स के वीडियो देखो, 12 घंटे, 13 घंटे, 15 घंटे, कोई नहीं करता. Once you become a topper, you can say anything to make people happy. It is physically impossible for human being to work, to study for 12-14 घंटे every. एक दो दिन कर लो आप, 3rd दिन आप सो जाओगे, कोई नहीं करता. What is important is consistency and perseverance. Then कोई एक बॉल पे छक्का मारना, वो नहीं करना है. आपको हर बॉल पे एक एक रन निकालनी है, तब मैच जीतोगे. Every single day matters. It's a 2 years long process. It is like a marathon. मैराथन का जो स्किल होता है वो अलग होता है than 100 meter sprint. You should think of from a marathon perspective, but actually it is not even a marathon. The series of sprints. Every single day counts. तो आपको उस तरह सोचना है. My point is, आप एक टाइम टेबल बनाते हो, वो फॉलो, इवन इफ इट इज नॉट वेरी एम्बिशियस, 7-8 घंटे का है, वो फॉलो नहीं होता. क्यों नहीं होता? लाइब्रेरी में बैठे हो, दोस्त आता है, चलो चाय पीने चलते हैं, यू गो फॉर सम टी, यू कम बैक, यू फील 5 मिनट गए आपका 1 घंटा पता ही नहीं. चाय पे मोदी वर्सेस राहुल गांधी शुरू हो जाता है. आई नो वादे वादे जायते तत्व बोधा, जितना आप बात करोगे तत्व का बोध होगा, अच्छी बात है, बट इट डज नॉट हेल्प इन प्रिपरेशन ऑल द टाइम. So you have to avoid, my fundamental point is avoid distractions. Now, how do you avoid distractions? You should know what are the things that distract you, what are the things that attract you. उसका मतलब क्या है? You should know yourself better. Ultimately, everything you do will come back to your own understanding of yourself, because you will understand कि घर से पैसे मिल रहे हैं या फिर पैसे ठीक ठाक है, दिक्कत नहीं है, क्लास में टीचर पढ़ा रहे हैं, कॉन्सेप्ट समझ में आ रहे हैं, नोट्स सारे बन रहे हैं, फिर भी मैं कहीं कम पढ़ रहा हूँ. So these external encumberments will be resolved very soon, or they might not be the great obstacles for most of you. Everybody will support the process. Still, you will find you are struggling. The reason lies within you. और उसको रिजॉल्व करने का तरीका होता है खुद को अच्छे से धीरे धीरे जानना. It's a journey of not only exploration of service, it is a journey of self-exploration. You might find it little philosophical today, I know, but you will understand very soon within 3 to 6 months कि आपके limitations कहाँ पे आते हैं. ठीक? So you have to go for some kind of study skills. For example, you should know what to study. Equally, you should know what not to study. क्या नहीं पढ़ना है ये पता होना चाहिए. Prelims and main examination, people go for completely different set of preparation. वो नहीं करना. You have to go embark upon integrated study of pre and mains for initial phase, and then you shift to prelims. अब आप history पढ़ रहे हो, geography पढ़ रहे हो, it is not different for pre and mains. It is similar. The approach may be different, but the fundamentals are similar. तो आपको साथ में पढ़ना भी आना चाहिए. When you read a single chapter, let us say of cyclones, जो भी चल रहा है गुजरात में, तो साइक्लोन पढ़ते समय प्री में कैसे क्वेश्चंस आते हैं, मेंस में कैसे आते हैं, चैप्टर तो वही है एनसीईआरटीज. तो इंटीग्रेटेड preparation should also be interdisciplinary. Everything is interconnected. As a civil servant on the spot, You are supposed to take into consideration physical, financial, political, social, economic, all these considerations. तो आपको सारे फैक्टर्स अगर वहां कंसिडर करने हैं, आपको एग्जाम में भी करने हैं. Syllabus consists of all those aspects, but they are in silos. You are not supposed to put them in silos in your mind. They should be connected. Interdisciplinary approach is extremely important for you in your answers and also in your preparation. That makes your knowledge basis organic. थोड़ा लग रहा है आपको मैं हवा में बात करना हुआ थोड़ी ज़्यादा, but आज का दिन वही है. Then you have to go for 4 things, and after study skill you have to go for time management. 2 साल लगते बहुत है कि from today you have exactly 1 year till the prelim starts. After that you have 1 year till you get the result of interview. So it's an entire process of at बराबर 3 year. So 2 years. But these 2 years, although they look very long, they are not very long. Time यहाँ से वहाँ उड़ जाएगा तुरंत. So every single day matters. I'll tell you, जब मैं पढ़ता था, अभी पढ़ता हूँ, वैसे बहुत पढ़ता हूँ, but जब मैं as an aspirant पढ़ता था, I used to sit on chair for 10 hours. And I used to feel कि मैंने 10 घंटा पढ़ाई कर ली. One day a friend came, बोला निखिल तू पागल है, तू पढ़ता 5 ही घंटे. मैंने कहा पॉसिबल नहीं है, 10 घंटे कुर्सी बैठा हूँ. बोला स्टॉप वॉच लेके बैठ. So I just put a stopwatch, and whenever I used to go for toilet, when I used to handle phone, watching some YouTube video, talking at home, कुछ भी कर रहा हूँ मैं, जब actual नहीं पढ़ रहा हूँ stopwatch को रुकता था. So at the end of the day, I just counted actual working hours. Actually 5-5.5 घंटे थे. So I was stressed कि how do I increase that 10 hours to 12 hours? He said don't do that. Ensure within that 10 hours, how do you increase that 5.5 घंटे से 7.5 घंटे? वो भी कर लो तो भी sufficient है. Point is efficiency of study is as important as quantity of study. तो उसके बारे में आपको स्पेशली फोकस देना पड़ेगा. It's not I am focusing on all these aspects before coming to the exam and before coming to our course. But this is a broad idea to open up your mind. And then you have the most important thing, that is answer writing. This is, I cannot emphasize its importance more or less, whatever you want to talk about. This is the most important. आपने कितनी किताबें पढ़ी, कितना ज्ञान है, कितने नोट्स बढ़िया बनाए, कितने बड़े बड़े क्लास किए, कोई कुछ नहीं पूछने वाला. You will be judged not upon you but upon your answers. What is reflected on the answer sheet is nothing but the essence of your understanding. होता क्या है, when you think of something in your mind, you have some amorphous thoughts. It looks as if you have understood things, but when you start articulating them on paper or through words, you come to know you do not have clarity. You do not have clarity. The more you articulate, the better the thoughts get crystallized. And it is the exam of answer writing. आपको एग्जाम का स्ट्रक्चर पता है सबको. For example, you have it means how many papers? Anybody? पहले you have language paper, then you have essay, 4 GS papers and 2 optional paper. 4 GS में आपके पास एक पेपर में 20 क्वेश्चंस होते हैं. In those 20 questions, 10 questions are 10 markers and 10 questions are 15 markers. So 10 marker is supposed to be in 150 words. So you have 150 words for 10 questions each. So it becomes 1500 words. And then 200 words for 10 questions each. It becomes 2000 words. So in one GS paper of 20 questions, you are supposed to write 3500 words in 3 hours, 180 minutes on an average. Karo. How many minutes? How many words per minute? Around 20 words per minute. Little less than that. Little less than that. 19 words, 18 words, जो कुछ है. Per minute continuously for 3 hours average. Then you get some break to have lunch. Again the same thing on the very same day for next 3 hours. Then rest for the night. The very next day, दोबारा 3 घंटा plus 3. GS1, GS2, GS3, GS4. All these 4 papers take place in 2 days. 6 घंटा लिखना है आपको. तो आपको 12 घंटे लिखना है 2 घंटों के अंदर विद दिस स्पीड, just to be able to complete the paper, just to complete the paper. I am not talking of the quality here. आपका हाथ चलते रहना चाहिए, and through that only you will be judged. Answer writing is again a very difficult thing to begin with. People are quite apprehensive कि कैसे शुरू करूं, reluctance होता है, hesitation होता है. It is only gradually once you start writing, पहले 100 आंसर, only 100 आंसर्स पहले आप लिखो, एक एक करके लिखो, आधा घंटा लेके लिखो, डोंट गो बाय 7 and 8 मिनट्स वाला टारगेट. जब आपका वो 100 आंसर लिख के हो जाएगा, it is only then you will understand कि it is easy. You get a grip of it, and we'll do that. We'll do that in class over time. But it is the most important thing. डरने की बात बिल्कुल, and don't go behind videos of answer writing, toppers tips to give you ideas कैसे आंसर लिखते हैं, वो आप देखो, but not at this stage because you won't appreciate them right now. There is no theory of swimming. Swimming की theory होती है, नेवियर स्टोक कैसे आता है, फ्लूइड इक्वेशन कैसे, वो you cannot learn swimming by understanding नेवियर स्टोक equation, right? There is no point in that. Similarly, if you want to do cooking, you have to start cooking, then you know chemistry of cooking. तो ये चीजें स्किल वाली है, स्किल वाली थिंग्स यू हैव टू स्टार्ट डूइंग, लर्न थ्रू द स्किल प्रैक्टिस. एंड इनिशियली आपकी सब्जी खराब होगी, आप पानी में डुबोगे, दिक्कत होगी, ग्रेजुअली आप ऊपर आओगे. तो 100 आंसर्स आपको लिखने हैं ओवर टाइम, नॉट सडनली एट वन गो, देन यू विल इंप्रूव ग्रेजुअली एंड विल असिस्ट यू इन दैट. ठीक है, बट दिस इज द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट पार्ट, यू कैनॉट मिस आंसर राइटिंग प्रैक्टिस. हाँ, देन यू टॉक अबाउट सेल्फ. Here I will talk about only 3 basic things. I will again go thoda sa philosophical. One point is you have to have right approach regarding idea of learning. Learning. There is something called as, for example, active learning and passive learning. जो अभी इस समय आप कर रहे हो, that is passive learning. You are just imbibing whatever I am saying. You have to engage with such kind of thing in interactive manner. The classes have to be very two-sided, two-way interaction. Critical analysis and conversation are required. Only then it becomes active learning and not passive. Active learning will help you clarify the concepts very easily. That should be your target. If you don't ask a question, and if you ask a question, एक कहावत है ना, वो क्या थी? If you ask a question, you are a fool for a moment. If you don't ask a question, a fool forever. वही बात है. तो क्लास में पूछो सवाल. We have to make our classes interactive and engaging. That is one thing. Secondly, you should also understand कि एक चीज होती है called as raw data. Anybody from computer science background? Nobody. You have raw data. Once you arrange data in some thematic form, it becomes information. Once that information is used to extract some kind of idea, it becomes kind of knowledge. And once that knowledge is imbibed within you, and then you become wise. So data, information, knowledge and wisdom, ये 4 stages होते हैं. When you read book, when you sit in the class, when you read newspapers, all these things is just collecting data. When you arrange them your notes properly or you revise them, it becomes your information that starts converting into knowledge. But more you write, the better it becomes knowledge. And then wisdom तो ठीक है, चाहिए नहीं हमें इतना, यहाँ वो तो बाद में देखेंगे बुद्धा बनने के लिए. But this is the overall idea that you should know that learning is a process. You should have to go for active learning and critical engagement. एक बेसिक चीज होती है प्रॉब्लम सॉल्विंग अप्रोच, कि सर मेरे दिन में ना 2 क्लास चल रहे हैं, एक ऑप्शनल का, एक जीएस का. अब दोनों में 2.5 घंटा बैठना है, पढ़ना है. Then I have to go home and revise the things that are taught on the class, in the class on the very same day. Then I have to read newspaper for 1 hour also. और फिर सोना भी है मुझे, कैसे करूँ, नहीं हो पा रहा. Now it is not because it is too much to handle, it is not. 5 घंटे क्लास और 5 घंटे पढ़ाई is a normal routine for all of you now. From now till the end of the course चलता रहेगा. 10 घंटे तुम यहाँ पढ़ोगे ही पढ़ोगे आराम से. Point is how to make those 10 hours more efficient. तो उसके लिए आपको आपके लर्निंग प्रोसेस को समझना होगा. जैसे कि let us say we have a class for 2 hours, you go home. आप फुटबॉल खेल के आ गए, शाम को दोबारा बैठने पढ़ने की किताब खोली, एंड देन यू आर रिवाइजिंग थिंग्स. तो उसके बीच में क्या हुआ, फॉर 3 hours यू आर एब्सेंट माइंडेड फ्रॉम द लर्निंग प्रोसेस. हमें वो नहीं करना. even when you are not sitting at the chair, even when you are not at your table, even when you are not opening a book, मन में चलना चाहिए मैंने क्या पढ़ा था, मैंने कल अखबार में क्या पढ़ा था, what happened in the class today morning. You have to revise the sequence. Active learning का एक important part ये है कि even when you are not physically studying, you are mentally studying all the time. It is very tiresome. ये थकाने वाली बात है, बट एक बार उसकी आदत लग जाती है फिर मजा आता है. Then you may study for 7 hours, 6 hours a day, but you're actually studying for 12 hours in your mind all the time. You have to start working towards that. It will not happen today, it will take months, but that is our ultimate objective. अब देखो, have you met any civil servant in your life? अब क्यों IAS IPS से मिले हो? Have you spent a day with IAS officer? है ना? So you see how fast they work. मतलब एक एक घंटे में they take 20, 30, 40 decisions, and each decision is of such an import which can change lives of people. You cannot go wrong. इतनी भीड़ होती है, काम करना है, तो they don't have time कि I will look at the file, सोच के बताता हूँ. They can't do it. वो करते हैं कभी कभी to avoid decision taking, वो अलग बात है, but they have to quick and they don't have time to उसके बाद तुरंत बोलो कि भाई भाषण देना है आपको. In the very same भाषण they will use all the points very quickly. They did not prepare them. वो कल ही हुआ था, कुछ परसों ही कुछ हुआ था. ये क्यों होता है? Because they have mental structures ready, mental frameworks ready, templates ready. So whenever you get new bit of information, it is attached to that tree somewhere. It is there, organic thinking. So when you say that you have to learn, you have to focus on that gradually. ये शुरू में नहीं होगा. It will take 3 to 6 months minimum, but you will go to that level. And without that going to आपको एग्जाम क्लियर करना की नेसेसिटी पार्ट. यू कैनॉट क्लियर द एग्जाम विदाउट दैट, क्योंकि आपको लिखना है इतना. Impossible to write that much. When you are forced to write so much in so less a time, there is no scope for reflective action. आप रिफ्लेक्ट करके, सोच के, समझ के लिखने को समय मौका ही नहीं है. UPSC do not want you to be reflective person. बनना है, you go to professor, become a professor. आपको on the spot, तो आपके instincts बाहर आते हैं आंसर राइटिंग में. तो you have to train your instincts. That is the practice that is required. बस समझना नहीं है इतिहास को, भूगोल को और गणित को. To train your instinct का training is an important aspect that requires practice under simulated conditions. ठीक. The second part is health. I will talk about it with my personal experience. I gave 6 mains in every attempt. Out of the 6 mains, I gave 2 interviews also. And in the both cases when I gave interview, I had less marks in mains because of one important thing. तबीयत खराब हो गई. In one attempt, I had dengue during my mains exam. ऐसे देख के आया, एडमिट हो गया. In the other attempt, I had चिकनगुनिया, चल नहीं पा रहा 15 दिन में. तो you have to take care of health. You are living in Delhi or wherever you are, health is the most important thing. You should not take it lightly. थोड़ा एक्सरसाइज, थोड़ा वॉकिंग, थोड़ी नींद अच्छे से होना, दे आर रिक्वायर्ड. अच्छा फूड यू मे गेट वेरी इजीली इफ यू आर ईटिंग आउटसाइड. टाइफॉइड तो बहुत कॉमन चीज़ है यहाँ, मच्छर तुरंत काटते हैं. तो यू हैव टू टेक केयर ऑफ दिस थिंग्स बिकॉज दिस इज, एज संतोष सर ऑलवेज, इट्स अ वॉर नॉट अ बैटल. 4 दिन का बैटल नहीं है ये, 2 साल का वॉर है. एवरी सिंगल डे इन द वॉर, इट्स अ वॉर ऑफ नर्व्स, इट्स अ वॉर ऑफ मसल, इट्स अ वॉर ऑफ ब्रेन पावर. तो उसमें आपको हर दिन फिट रहना है. यू नो दैट स्टोरी ऑफ रैबिट एंड टर्टल, कौन आगे जाएगा? व्हाट यू शुड बी, बताइए, रैबिट और टर्टल? यू शुड बी बोथ. आपको यहाँ पे एग्जैक्टली, यू कैनॉट बी अदर टर्टल और रैबिट. आपको जीतना भी है और जल्दी जितने समय लिमिटेड है. यू हैव टू बी रैबिट एंड टर्टल बोथ एट द वेरी सेम टाइम, तब आपके एग्जाम क्लियर होगी. ठीक है. तो health is extremely important, and not only physical health, also mental health. And this also is very important. Stress management, anxiety issues, alcoholism, addiction, डाउन फील होना, फैमिली से दूर, गर्लफ्रेंड बॉयफ्रेंड से दूर, ये दिक्कतें होती हैं. एंड दिस थिंग्स टेक अवे, ईट अवे योर टाइम. दिस थिंग्स रिड्यूस योर एफिशिएंसी. टेक फॉर एग्जांपल सिंपल स्ट्रेस मैनेजमेंट. यू अंडरस्टैंड कि 2 साल के प्रोसेस में nobody will have the full efficiency for entire 2 years. हर एक के फैमिली में कुछ ना कुछ दिक्कत 2 साल में एक बार होने ही वाली है. कोई बीमार होगा, किसी कोई ऑपरेशन होगा, कोई एक्सीडेंट, कुछ ना कुछ तो होगा खुद का या फैमिली मेंबर का. तो इट इज गोइंग टू बी हर्ड. बट दिस थिंग इज बियॉन्ड योर कंट्रोल, उसका स्ट्रेस लेना ही नहीं है. सो यू प्रिपेयर फॉर इट मेंटली ऑलरेडी बिफोर हैंड कि 15-20 दिन बीच में प्रॉब्लम आएंगे. डोंट ब्लेम द प्रॉब्लम, anticipate the problems and work towards them. Some things are in your control, you can work upon them. Some things are not in your control, you cannot work upon them. Let loose, stress मत लो. ठीक, बहुत mental health is very important. We don't emphasize it enough. But as you go, you will speak to lots of teachers here. You will have every teacher's personal phone number. You will also talk to mentors. सब कुछ होगा. You will have entire support system. But if you feel any problem, just get in touch with us immediately. ठीक है, स्टडी स्किल्स जितने इंपॉर्टेंट है उतना ही इंपॉर्टेंट मेंटल हेल्थ भी है. ओके, सो दिस इज अबाउट द ओवरऑल gloomy picture of preparation. ठीक है, but I will be very honest with you, it is not at all gloomy. It is tough. It requires physical fitness and mental toughness, no doubt. It is tough, but it is actually going to be one of the most enjoyable parts of your life also. Because from today, for next 2 years, you will embark upon a journey which is extremely enjoyable with lots of knowledge. दुनिया में बहुत कम लोगों को मौका मिलता है 2 साल पूरी शिद्दत से खुद के लिए इतना पढ़ना और इतना सारा अलग अलग चीजें पढ़ना. By the end of the 2 years, you will be a very knowledgeable person. Every part of life you will understand, start to understand a little bit, and you will emerge out of it. IAS बनो, IPS बनो, ना बनो, but you will become a very person with lot of gravity. You will see the world differently. So enjoy that. Don't take it as a burden. ठीक है, तो ये हो गई दुनिया भर की बातें. Have a right attitude towards the exam. Learn from the mistakes. Adaptability is very important. Learn from the mistakes and move on very quickly. Everybody will do mistakes. It is one who learns and then moves ahead is the one who emerges out as a winner. टॉपर रैंक 1 ने भी गलतियां कई सारी करी होती, वो सीख के आगे चला जाता है, वहीं पे रुकना नहीं है. तो अगेन क्रिटिकल माइंडसेट इज रिक्वायर्ड. ठीक, नाउ कम टू द कोर्स. कोर्स क्या है? In the course, we'll have various components starting from tomorrow. The first component is classroom lectures. It will be actually a 10-month program, almost 1000 hours. In those 1000 hours, you will be taught every single thing in detail. From tomorrow till the month of March, you will have 2.5 hours a lecture every day, except for Sunday. Additionally, for a few months in between, kabhi 2 hafte, kabhi 4 hafte, you will have second lecture also on a day, because of one basic thing: we have to finish syllabus on time, and we don't want to rush at the very end. In many other places you will see, मार्च आते लोगों को जग जाते हैं, अरे ये रह गया, वो रह गया, वो रह गया. मार्च में सब बम्बार्ड करते हैं आपके ऊपर. You'll get lots of online videos also उस समय, which you can't watch, and then students are like, अब इतना सारा पढ़ूं या प्रीलिम की तैयारी करूं. So we make sure that we will not bombard upon you lots of things in the month of March. So the additional load will be distributed over the months from the very beginning. So abhi shuru mein for 2-3 weeks, 4 weeks we'll have 1 lecture a day, but there will be some weeks in between when you will have 2 lectures a day. Now with these lectures, you have to understand that there will be 2 faculties every single time. For first 3 days, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, first faculty, and the other 3 days second faculty. So 2 subjects will go on simultaneously for, let us say, 2 months. So in the 2 months we'll finish 2 subjects and we move on to next 2 months. Likewise we'll go on. We'll not open up lots of subjects on the very day. What you are requested or expected to do is घर जाइए, revise and revise. Be abreast with the class. क्लास के पीछे मत पढ़ना. जैसे आप क्लास के पीछे 4 दिन चले गए, 10 दिन चले गए, तो रिकवर करना बहुत मुश्किल हो जाता है, बिकॉज क्लास तो हर दिन चलता रहे. आप 4 दिन बीमार हो गए, फिर रिकवर करने के लिए आपको दोबारा मेहनत करनी पड़ेगी. इट इज एडिशनल बर्डन. सो डोंट ट्राई टू बी ही मैन और सुपरमैन और मार्वल कॉमिक्स पर्सन, बट ट्राई टू बी एज कंसिस्टेंट एज पॉसिबल. रिवाइज विद द क्लास. वॉट एवर प्रॉब्लम यू हैव, you will have phone numbers of faculty, you can ask here personally or on the chat box. You have a telegram group जहाँ पे आप सबको हम ऐड भी कर देंगे. You have mentor support, you can take appointment, you can walk in anything, no problem. But be with the class, don't fall behind. To ensure that you revise regularly and remain with the class, we also have tests, and those tests will start taking place extremely रेगुलरली फ्रॉम द वेरी फर्स्ट वीक. आज संडे है, अगले संडे आपका टेस्ट 1 होगा. इन एवरी संडे यू विल हैव टेस्ट, यू विल हैव टू कम टू क्लास अगेन ऑन संडे. छुट्टी आपको एक भी दिन नहीं मिलेगी. आज से लेके 10 महीने तक you will come here every single day, either for lecture, if not for lecture, for some test. जितना आप मेहनत करोगे उससे अधिक मेहनत हम आप पे करने वाले, ठीक है. बट आप परेशान मत होना उससे. So you have to come on Sunday. Sunday will have weekly test. It will be both subjective and objective. Let us say 50 MCQs and 2 or 4 questions. वो उसी समय evaluate भी होंगे and then you will discuss with the mentor or a teacher personally क्या सही था, क्या improve करना है. And the syllabus of the weekly test will be whatever is taught in that week. So you will be able to appear on Sunday test only and only when you revise things every day. वो जरूरी है. After the 4 tests, after 3 tests, rather, every 4th Sunday, you will have a monthly test. In that monthly test, the syllabus will be of the entire month. You will be given 1 day for revision. Extra Saturday आपको ऑफ मिलेगा उस समय, मंथली टेस्ट के पहले, ताकि आप पढ़ पाओ, प्रशस्त नॉलेज हो पाए. But continuous revision is expected. I had a friend who used to sit with me in the library every morning. Yogesh नाम था. We both of us used to come to office library at 7:30 in the morning. वो पहले आके डायरी खोलता था अपनी छोटी सी, मैंने कल ये पढ़ा था, परसों ये पढ़ा था, चलो अभी इसको रिवाइज कर दो. So every morning for 1 hour used to revise of what he has learned in last week or last day or whatever. उस 1 घंटे में था, अरे यार क्या अभी तो पढ़ा, याद तो सारा है, चलो अगला पढ़ते हैं, कुछ आज का नया पढ़ते हैं. बट ही वॉज लाइक नहीं, कल का रिवाइज करो. ही नाउ IRS. Point is that daily revision. I am not joking, literally it could be a boring thing. You think कि अभी तो याद है, क्या दिक्कत है, but daily revision is the only thing that matters. So one thing is PYQ, time management, daily revision, answer writing, यही चीजें हैं और सिंपल तरीका है. You have to also understand कि process may get sometimes boring also, लेकिन बोरियत की आदत भी डालनी चाहिए मुझको थोड़ी, ठीक है. So you have to focus on revision daily. We'll go for weekly test, we'll go for monthly test, 3 monthly test and 6 monthly test. This thing will go until the month of February, March, after which we'll shift to complete prelims tests. तो आपके हर हफ्ते फिर prelim के MCQ टेस्ट होंगे full length till the time of prelims. So classroom will be over by March, but test will shift from combined test to prelim test till the prelims. And after prelims you have full length mains test series of 12 papers. तो हम क्लासेस 10 महीने में भले ही खत्म कर दे, आपके टेस्ट चलेंगे 15 महीने के लिए till your mains. That is what you have to revise and attempt. Don't miss the tests. Third thing is your mentoring. Now you will have faculties, you will have mentors and whomsoever you feel कि मुझे इससे बात करनी है, आके बैठो, कोई दिक्कत नहीं. One thing I can tell you very proudly also, that every faculty here is always accessible. Sometimes we will initiate some sessions from our own side. आपको कॉल आएगा ऑफिस से कि आपको आपके आंसर्स लेके आना है, either online or offline. We'll have a meeting. And other times you can initiate from your own end also कि मुझे बात करनी है, बैठे, no problem, but come. Don't keep things to yourself. That is very important. The next thing is your current affair classes. The current affair classes will start with Santosh sir. You have them every Saturday, Sunday. तो आपके Monday to Saturday क्लास होगा GS फाउंडेशन का स्टैटिक वाला, एंड सैटरडे संडे यू हैव 2 सेपरेट डिफरेंट लेक्चर एट डिफरेंट टाइम बाय संतोष सर, विच विल गो ऑन फ्रॉम नाउ टिल योर मेंस अगेन. अभी फॉर फ्यू मंथ्स 2 days a week, देन 3 days a week एंड देन 4 days a week, जब तक ये क्लासेस खत्म हो जाएंगे. तो आपका करंट अफेयर भी चलता रहेगा. यू विल ऑलवेज बी रेडी. कहावत है CRPF की, हमेशा मुस्तैद. यू हैव टू बी हमेशा मुस्तैद, सदैव तत्पर, ठीक है. एनी टाइम ऑफ द डे सडनली यू हैव टू अपीयर फॉर एग्जाम, तब तक जो पढ़ाया है मैं तैयार हूँ. इन द मंथ ऑफ February इफ यू टेक योर एग्जाम यू शुड बी रेडी टू अपीयर फॉर मेंस. तब तक जितना पढ़ाया है सारा पढ़ाया होगा, आपको मेंस देने. उस समय ये नहीं कि अरे मुझे 15 दिन मिलते, मैं वो वाला रिवाइज करता. इफ दैट इज द माइंडसेट, देन द प्रॉब्लम स्टार्ट्स. अब तक जितना पढ़ाया, आई एम रेडी टू गिव एन अपीयर एग्जाम एनी पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम. वो आपकी प्रिपरेशन लेवल होनी चाहिए, ठीक है सर. पक्का. आपका नाम क्या है? दीपक. ओके. So this is the main thing, and then you have at the end pre की तैयारी, मेंस की तैयारी, and then IMP also interview mentorship program. We have Vishwa sir who was in civil service. He was Indian Audit Account Service Officer. He resigned and then he started doing social service. He also is here. He heads the interview program. तो वो भी आपका बाद में interview mentoring लेंगे. So that part is also included here. You have everything from the beginning till interview connected. So from womb to tomb आप यहीं पे हो, कहीं नहीं जा रहे हो, ठीक है. जब तक IAS नहीं बनते हमको छोड़ने वाले है नहीं. So that is इनसे पूछिए. हाँ. So this is the overall idea. What I expect from you is some basic things. Firstly, attend everyday class, take care of health and mind, do daily revision, attend the tests, and whatever problem you feel at any point of time, please get in touch with us. ठीक है. And believe in the teachers for at least few months. Those toppers, colleagues, seniors, neighbors will tell you lots of things. Just wait. Just wait. Okay. If you have any doubt, any query, you can ask. So we have some queries online. How will students give tests online? Manideep, we have a portal where you will get PDFs which you can download for mains questions, and you can scan on mobile and upload. It will be evaluated. And for prelims, you can either download PDF or you can attempt on the portal also. No problem. Okay, descriptive answers will be evaluated by us either on screen with इसको क्या बोलते हैं, digital pen or stylus, or we'll download them, we'll print them, we'll check them with the pen, scan them and upload them. ठीक है. So there won't be any problem as such. Sir, will there be daily answer writing evaluation if one attempts daily? Divya, it will be there. Teachers will give you lots of questions in everyday class. Class के अंदर भी आंसर राइटिंग होगा, क्लास के बाद भी आपको असाइनमेंट्स दिए जाएंगे. We have a Telegram group. I request all of you to join. You will get the link on the portal. Join करिए. You can submit your questions there. They will be evaluated. No problem. ठीक है. आप जितना लिखो, we want to encourage that. Dimpy, you can ask a question. Hands raise क्यों कर रहे हो मुझे? I don't know how to allow the speaker here. You can ask a question. Good afternoon, sir. Can you please provide the overall schedule of subjects? Sampath will start with 2 subjects first. Tomorrow we'll start with Ancient and Medieval India by Vishal sir. We'll go for the first 3 subjects, and then we'll move to, on the later days of the week, Geography by Dimple ma'am. So Ancient and Geography will go for 1.5 months, and then we'll shift to other aspects like Polity and Economy. ठीक है. हिस्ट्री, ज्योग्राफी, पॉलिटी, इकोनॉमी, ये 4 सब्जेक्ट्स जनरली फंडामेंटल सब्जेक्ट्स माने जाते हैं. Unless and until you finish these 4 subjects, there is no point in branching out to specifics like ethics or science and tech. वो बाद में होगा, second stage में. The first stage is covering history, geography, polity and economy. तो पहले 4 यही होंगे. उसमें से भी will start with ancient history and geography in the first week. ठीक है. Then sir, except class notes, one has to cover basic books or class notes are enough? Arpit, I will give twofold answer to this question. Class notes will be more than enough, but in the class notes, I do not mean only dictation. Here we do not give lots of dictation. We give some dictation and some printed notes also, some PDFs also. So the combined, it will be more than enough, but teacher may suggest for his or her subject some basic book like some in geography के लिए, for example, NCERT is important, so geography teacher will suggest NCERT, उतना पढ़ना है. So every subject teacher will suggest some basic book if required, but notes will be more than sufficient. Notes तो इतने रहेंगे, आप बोलोगे notes रोको, अब इतने notes मिलेंगे आपको. ठीक है. So that is the idea. And sir, what should be the timeline for an aspirant? मतलब कब तक क्या क्या हो जाना चाहिए? Arpit, the basic idea is that by the month of Feb end or maximum mid-March, your entire foundation course will be over with due weightage for every part. That is the basic idea. Within that also, in the first 4 to 5 months, we'll cover history, geography, polity, economy, जो कि major chunk है for both prelims and mains, and only on that foundation we build other subjects. So that is the overall timeline. ठीक है. Sir, this is going to be my 5th attempt. I could not clear my past 4 prelims. How do I go ahead? SK Tripathi, देखो, when you go to a doctor, then doctor first diagnoses the problem and then gives the medicine. You can't just say, doctor, problem है, दवाई दे दो. Problem हमें देखना पड़ेगा क्या है. So what I would suggest is you come to office or let us book a meeting online, have a detailed discussion, let us find out what the problem is, let us do some diagnosis and then we will go with some solution. ऐसे हवा में तो बात नहीं कर पाऊंगा, बट हम उसको साथ में बैठ के बात करते हैं. Sir, you will not be taking classes, I will be taking classes, I will be teaching you modern India and world history. ठीक, but I will not be taking classes at the beginning. Okay. Need to buy books or study materials will be provided, I discussed it already. Sarif is asking 2 classes a day plus optional will be too much. Can we have extra classes on Saturday? Sarif, 2 classes will not be on every single day and every single week. 2 classes will there be only on some specific days in a month. हो सकता है कि अभी से लेके मार्च तक we have कितने महीने हैं? जुलाई, अगस्त, सितंबर, अक्टूबर, नवंबर, दिसंबर, फरवरी, मार्च. We have 9 months or 8.5 months. Of those 8.5 months, it would be around for 2 to 2.5 months only that we will have 2 classes a day. For 6 months, you will not have 2 classes, you will have only 1 class a day. ठीक? Because मतलब I can tell you from my experience, I working at many places. मार्च में बहुत बम्बार्डमेंट होता है क्लासेस का एंड में इन एवरी फाउंडेशन बैच एवरीवेयर एल्स एंड देन स्टूडेंट्स आर सफरिंग कि भाई अब मैं प्री कैसे दूं. हमें वो चीज़ अवॉइड करनी है अंडर एनी सर्कमस्टांसेस वेयर यू विल नो मेनी कॉलेज की फाउंडेशन कोर्स मैंने कर लिया, अब मैं पढ़ाई शुरू कर रहा हूँ मेरी, ये नहीं करना. कोर्स के साथ साथ में पढ़ाई करनी. ठीक. ऑनलाइन सेशन आई कैन डू ओनली सर एंड हेंस सर. ओके, नो प्रॉब्लम, विल डिस्कस ऑनलाइन ओनली. अमन इज आस्किंग सर राइटिंग आंसर्स आर अ ह्यूज प्रॉब्लम फॉर मी, समझ नहीं आता कितना लिखना है, क्या जरूरी है रिलेटेड टू क्वेश्चन. अमन, what we'll do is we'll take some topics for every subject and we'll discuss in the very class how to decode the question. Question writing is an art and craft both. It evolves very gradually. At some level you need some structure, you need some content. At other level you need to generate points on the spot. तो ये डायमेंशन जनरेशन की प्रोसेस जो होती है वो कैसे होती है ये हम क्लास में डेमोन्स्ट्रेट भी करेंगे, आपसे खूब लिखवाएंगे और चेक भी कराएंगे. ठीक. Hands-on home delivery होंगे प्रियंका. hands-on will not be home delivered, they will be uploaded on the portal before the class, you have to take print out. ठीक है. हमारी एसए की भी क्लासेस होंगी. यस प्रिया, एसए की क्लासेस अलग से होंगी. वी हैव अ सेपरेट फैकल्टी फॉर एसए, अभिषेक सर. सो यू विल हैव एसए क्लासेस सेपरेटली, यू विल ऑल्सो हैव सीसेट क्लासेस सेपरेटली एंटायरली. तो डू नॉट वरी, प्रीलिम के लिए, मेंस के लिए जो चाहिए इंक्लूडिंग इंटरव्यू हम सब करेंगे. ठीक है. essay classes will be held separately. We will have lots of essay tests also. Any other query? खत्म. ठीक है. यहाँ पे सर बताइए. Any doubt? No doubt. कुछ तो पूछा करो यार, बस पूछने के लिए कुछ पूछ लो. Yes. सारा डाउट हो गया. हाँ बताइए. हाँ देखो, it depends on the type of problem one is facing. एक तो there are lots of techniques also. For example, you might have heard of Albert Ellis. He talks about rational emotive behavior ideas. You have cognitive behavior ideas. So lots of things you have, lots of practices, lots of methods whereby you can have enhanced emotional resilience. So you can have, I'll tell you one thing very simple which I generally practice. My teacher told me it is called as metacognition. What is cognition? समझना. The process of knowing is called cognition. ज्ञान, जिज्ञासा, जानना. And metacognition is जानने के बारे में जानना. For example, if you have metacognition, you are getting angry, and at the very moment you are getting angry, you know that you are getting angry. निखिल तो गुस्सा हो रहा है. ये उसी समय खुद को जानना कि मैं गुस्सा हो रहा हूँ. I look at myself as a third person and understand my emotional process. That helps in itself to control your emotional problems. Example there, Omai. Just an example. So how to improve metacognition? That is one question. So you have lots of things like that. You can also take help of support system. Family ho, friend circle, you have colleagues, you have teachers. It should be good circle, obviously. Sometimes it works other way around also. Lots of ways are there. But point is, in your 2 years journey, you will face you will need some support system. We will give you. No problem. You are from Western India? Where, which part of Maharashtra? Karjat. Okay. Any other doubt? This course only covering GS4 papers. Priyanka, it will cover GS1, GS2, GS3, GS4, essay and prelims के लिए GS and CSAT everything. Okay. सर करंट अफेयर्स तो दोनों के लिए है ही, so that is implicit. करंट अफेयर्स भी कवर होगा, मेंस एमपी का दोनों का. I am working professional, so I can ask my doubts later in Telegram. Yes, Jimpy, you can ask doubt any point of time. They will be resolved. In the Telegram group, all the faculties will also be present. So you will not face a problem. Additionally, you will have faculty's phone number. If you are not comfortable asking in Telegram, you can just drop a message to faculty and call the faculty, no problem. Okay. Sir, when will set classes start? Not right away, after some months. Sir, facts about language exam. Language exam 2 plays important role. Many aspirants could not qualify language exam. Aman, it depends on a background of an aspirant and also the language. Language exams are not supposed to be very difficult. You have to just qualify them. But you are facing any problem, तो हम बैठ के बात करते हैं. So please ensure the completion of main specific topics before December, like ethics, society, governance, IR, etc. See, ethics will come sometimes in November, December only, because we have to finish 4 basic subjects first. They are the foundation on which everything else builds. Secondly, IR is some static and some dynamic. Static IR will be covered again in the month of December, January somewhere, but dynamic IR will be covered in current affairs also continuously till the mains. And society will be covered. Society and post-independence will go together, because in paper 1, the questions generally are overlapping in nature. For example, environmental movement, women's movement, they come from society aspect and post-independence collectively, तो साथ में उस समय कर लेंगे. But everything will be done before March. That is the point. आपको पूरे 3 महीने मिलेंगे prelims के लिए. Sir, how should one choose their optional subject? What criteria should we keep in mind to choose the right subject? Dhanvi, it's a good and a very standard question. How many of you have chosen your optional by now? Almost everyone here, right? So this answer will be for online students only. See, optional subject can be chosen multiple criteria. The first and the most basic criteria is कि आपको subject पसंद है. That is all that matters. If you like the subject because it is going to be your second wife or first wife or first husband or second husband, जो कुछ है, so you have to spend a lot of time with it. You should enjoy it. अब enjoy नहीं कर रहे हो तो you will not score well. Apart from that, right guidance, right sources, right strategy for every optional, you will find it. आपको teachers मिल जाएंगे, sources मिल जाएंगे, वो issue नहीं है. कोई optional is more scoring than the other option से कोई बात होती नहीं है. In every option you will find some plus and some minus. Lots of optional easily give you 300 plus, but they take a lot of time. Sometimes some optional has a lot of overlap with GS, sometimes it does not. So हर एक का plus minus अलग अलग होता है. Ultimately it boils down to आपको पसंद है subject की नहीं है. That is all. Every option is scoring, तो उसकी बात नहीं करनी. ठीक है. But as a way of process, what I can say is that you pick a couple of them which you think which are in the area of your interest, and then read the book, any single basic book for 3-4 days, 1 week, attend some classes online or physically, look at the question papers. If you feel you are comfortable, then only you go ahead. पहले सैंपल लेंगे, डेमो लेंगे, फिर पूरा खरीदेंगे, सीधी बात है. This course only covering GS4 papers, I talked about it already. Will ethics 2 will be covered before December? Sir, if ethics will be covered around December, November or December. ठीक है, ethics will require almost 30 lectures thereabouts because it contains lots of things. Ethics में आपके पास ethics वाला part भी है, you have social psychology also, you have governance also, case studies also. It takes around 30 lectures minimum. 1 महीने की बात पूरी है ethics, around December. Sir, can we be provided with a rough schedule of the course so that we can plan our journey accordingly, please? See, SK Tripathi, we will, as I said, 4 subjects will come first: history, geography, economy, polity. They will be finished in first 4 to 5 months. And then in the next 3 months, we'll cover all other remaining subjects. That is a rough idea. और इतना आगे इससे अधिक स्पेसिफिक देखेंगे हम. Philosophy, okay, is that a question? We have a philosophy faculty called Vishwajit. Sir, you can meet him if you want. Sir, can you suggest any good institution for geology optional? I have no idea of geology, Priya, but I will try to find out and tell you. Sir, can we choose our mentor? The way everybody is your mentor, you choose anybody and everybody, no problem. It is not that if you choose me, you cannot go to other teachers. You can go to them, no problem at all. ठीक है, this is like a home. I think many of you already know that, इसलिए आप यहाँ पे हो. ठीक है, any other doubt? चलो ठीक है, फिर कल मिलते हैं 2 o'clock, विशाल सर, एंशिएंट इंडिया. ओके, चलो, थैंक यू.